Some people say that Sheffield is blue and white or red and white, but actually, this season it's definitely black and white. Well done, you Rams. Sheffield double this season, beating United away, and of course last night beating Wednesday as well. How are you doing? We've got Luke here. Others are currently ill and flued up, so I hope you're doing better than they are. Some limbs in that away end, Luke, wasn't there last night? What support Derby had at Hillsborough.
Yeah, it's every away game. It's the same. We follow them up and down the country. Can always guarantee if we get enough tickets, we'll sell out. Some fans don't want to give us certain ticket scores. We're going to be louder than them. Sorry, it is massive sport, massive club. Yeah, absolutely fantastic last night. Fans were incredible, and the limbs for Tomo's goal and Adjiman's were absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, came across well on TV. However, coming up in a couple of minutes, we're going to talk about some Sheffield Wednesday fans' complaints about how Derby behaved in that way, and we'll get into those in a second. But yes, we're going to look back on who impressed you most in that 3-0 win last night. We're also talking about penalty takers this week. Who's the best ever penalty taker you've seen in a Rams shirt? We're talking about the FA Cup draw as well. What did we make of it? Good or not? And of course, letter J in our A to Z. Of Derby County. Thank you so much for all the comments we've been getting on here. It was 200 subscribers now. Thank you. That's been absolutely amazing for something that's been going now for just over 14 weeks or so. If you've only just come across the channel, we take the very best and the worst of social media takes from Derby County games and put it to our panel here. Luke, you're going solo this week, so good luck with this. First of all, let's have a look at this first one, shall we? Alex says, "You beautiful Rams. It took us 36 games to get to this points total last season. Progression under Eustace." And I want to start there. Can you sum up the contribution that he's made to this football club in terms of how you were feeling going into Christmas and under Paul Warne this time last season to how you're feeling now?
Yeah, I feel like we've got a proper football manager for this league. He knows the league. He's done well in the league previously, and you can tell from how he sets out the way he wants to play. It's his identity with the club. I know some fans might think it's like boring and we can't play the style at home and we're better at playing it away from home. But I trust the bloke with everything. He's completely changed the team. Obviously, we've had a lot better transfer window under him. We've got bigger players in. But I just think he attracts the better players and people want to play under him. And you can tell that they want to play under him because the togetherness of the squad's just all there to see. You could tell last night.
Is he one of the most underrated managers in the league, Luke? Do you think he gets the credit he perhaps deserves because maybe his style is not as maybe as I don't know cutthroat and as open as perhaps like an Alex Neil's football is?
Um, I think he gets some credit. I heard a couple of fans say that Eustace is a really good manager, and we're lucky to have him, and he's definitely the one to take us forward at 100%. But I do think he does get looked over for some of like the teams that come down, the bigger teams that are in the Championship who get these like big managers that get relegated from the Prem. Or they'll be able to take us back up to the Prem and all this. But I think he's a little bit underrated. But I do hear some fans say that he's a good manager, and yeah, he's you can tell he's a great manager.
Yeah. Before we would say let's not carried away, it was Sheffield Wednesday away. They're in a bit of a. It was as routine as you like. We've got a couple of complaints coming from fans actually in a minute. Let's start with the positives though. This one. This one from John. Comprehensive performance. Big Pat was superb along with Tomo and Clark again. Every week we seem to mention Matt Clark. Largely untroubled and an improved BBD tonight. He was unlucky not to get an assist, which is great to read because if you were watching last week, we were reading some pretty horrific tweets about Britain Diaz. Sum up the individual performances, Luke.
I thought Big Pat. And you know what? Before Big Pat scored that first goal, I thought he was having an absolute shocker. He just wasn't going to the ball. He wasn't doing anything. I was like, "Come on, Pat, do something." And then the goal, this first goal, is such a great finish. He's dropped the shoulder. He's sent the defender the wrong way, and it's an unbelievable finish into the bottom corner. And his second goal, I thought Brewster was absolutely fantastic for his minutes coming back from injury. Absolutely knocks the defender out, sends him out the stadium by the looks of it because he was absolutely flying. Puts the ball into the middle. Pat said just to pick it up, gets his second, which he thoroughly deserved. And I'm absolutely made up for Liam Thompson. He's been waiting. years and years and years for that goal. And you could tell from the celebration and the look on his face. It's been a long time coming and he finished it well. But yeah, I think individually, I thought Big Pat had a good game. Bobby Clark again, another good game for him. Liam Thompson again. And then, like you said, Bembe and Diaz, I thought was quite unlucky not to get on the score sheet or get an assist.
Yeah, but Bobby Clark, I think I called him Matt. Thank you. Right, this one from another fan here. Have a look at this one. Grant says, I've seen plenty of comments from Derby fans about the home attendance last night. It's pretty understandable why. Have Derby fans completely forgotten the multiple 16k attendances they were pulling during their time in administration? So there was arguably, obviously, a lot of Wednesday fans missing from that game last night. Derby fans were quick to point out, and there's been a bit of a spat online between the two sets of fans. I mean, yeah, it all goes back, of course, to those chants as well, which we'll get into in a minute. But yeah, do you still do you have sympathies with Wednesday or not?
Um, I have sympathy with the fans that absolutely love the club and the mess they've been in, and the way they've been treated is just not right at all. Like I said it last week about you should be going to football to enjoy it, not just going to turn up and it's just absolutely misery every weekend. But with the attendances, it's a funny one because midweek, I don't think you're going to get many Championship teams who are going to like have massive crowds for midweek games. I just don't think it ever happens unless you're in the Prem, I think. But the 16k is a bit funny because I don't think I think we had a 16 and 18, and I think when we came out of like the back end, I think right, we're going to be all right here. It was like 20. I just think it was like 29k
Yeah,
plus nearly every week. So that one's a bit of a cheap shot, really, in my opinion. But I can sympathise with them. I know why they're not turning up because. I mean, to be fair, I did see some comments from Wednesday fans saying they can't wait to see the back of this team, and it's just absolutely dross. And you could see, I
yeah,
don't want to say it was easy, but last night you could tell it was like a training session at some points.
yeah. Staying with that theme of Derby fan behaviour. Alex Miller, who's a reporter, says less than a minute gone and Derby fans were singing "We're all having a party" when Sheffield Wednesday dies, and that was always predictable. And the one that's caused some ire, I think, in some football communities is the Pro Series chants. Um, yeah, some Wednesday fans are calling this out and going, look, we get the Wednesday dies one. That was always going to happen given the video circulating. But chanting for an owner that has nearly killed a football club when you've gone through exactly the same thing. Did you look at that yourself and go, maybe that's too far or not?
Yeah, it's one of those where what anything you can do, we can do better, or in this case, worse. We all knew we're all having a party was coming out, and you knew
Yeah,
it was going to
fair.
happen. The minute,
That's bad,
yeah, absolutely. The minute we went 1-0 up or something big happened in the game, it was always going to come out. But the Tanzania chance is just us trying to one up them from them singing that to us when we was in admin. It's just one of them things in football that's always going to happen. I don't think you're ever going to stop it. But it was a bit of a cheap shot, but I thought there was something good. There was always something going to happen with that game with the chance. So I'm
yeah.
not surprised, but yeah, it wasn't great to hear.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of little bits going online. I mean, there's another one that says Derby fans didn't join in with a minute's applause, and Derby fans say, well, we didn't know it was a minute's applause, and
Yeah,
all kinds of weird things. So, but let's finish on this one. Paul says, I keep saying it, but our fans are the best in the business. 4,000 of them in the only part of the ground that was full to capacity. And I tell you what, it came across on TV very much like that as well. Which, yeah, once you scored the third, I switched over to United Bournemouth. Apologies. So, yeah, so that was a pretty good game as well. Right then, yeah, the one quibble then that we've had is from Stefan Broom, who's a really big Derby fan on Twitter. Says, weird to moan about 3-0 away, but here we go. We've got to improve our composure in the final third. I'm buzzing with a win, but my God, we're so wasteful with chances. We need to be more clinical and better size. It could have easily been 6 or 7 tonight. Yeah, weird we still get complaints, but there we are. And is he right?
he's absolutely bang on the money. When I was at home and it was half time. It was 1-0. I thought this game should be dead and buried now. Should be done. They should be them fans should be leaving now and going home because the amount of chances we created in that first half, it should have been at least 3-0 at half time. And then again, second half, we scored 2 goals. but there was a couple of chances there where balls wasn't passed to correct players in better positions that could have decent opportunities, like Ben Berent and Diaz twice had two decent opportunities, never got the ball and could have had a decent effort on goal. So yeah, last night it could have been a cricket score. So yeah, I do agree with that. We've got to be better in that final third because we're not going to play teams like that every week, and you're going to have to take your chances against the better teams because you're not going to get as many as we did last night. So yeah, final third when you really need to look a lot sharper.
Yeah. And finally, what I was saying, Bobby Clark. Definitely Bobby Clark ran the show last night. I think I asked you a couple of weeks ago whether there was a signing of 2025. Looking back on the 12 months where you've signed January transfer window players and summer, is he top of the list?
I won't say he's top of the list. I'm going to still say Colton Morris is still top of that list, even though he's not playing. That bloke's just changed us completely for the goals he's scored and where he's got us in the league. But no, Bobby Clark is right up there. You can tell he had a slow start, but the position change that Eustace gave him to that centre mid role, he gets about so much. His energy is incredible. He takes a man on. He can see a pass. Like last night, we were setting traps for Wednesday to pass that ball out from the back, and he would just run out of nowhere to a Wednesday player who's collecting the ball and just nick it off him and set us away. Yeah, he's getting him better and better and better. And I'm hoping the rumours of him going to Celtic in January aren't true because I don't want to see him go anywhere. And if Leipzig want 6 mil for him, I'm sure we've got 6 mil lying around somewhere. Let's just put a bid in. Let's just take him off our hands.
Brilliant. Okay. Pompey up next. Then they've been struggling, Luke, haven't they? They've really been struggling. They've just about beat Blackburn at the weekend, but you've got to fancy yourselves against them surely here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, last night I thought, right, good performance here. Get a couple of goals in, dominating performance, and go into Saturday with that on the back of that because we needed it 100% over the last few games. But yeah, after last night, I'm really confident, and we need to do exactly what we did to Sheffield Wednesday to Portsmouth straight away.
Yeah, we'll report back on that, of course, next week on our final record. Hopefully, our others will be recovered from their illnesses by then. We've been talking about penalties this week as well, because there's been so many penalties missed in the Championship. So here's a scenario, Luke. I'm going to take your house keys off you, take your car keys off you, and hold them hostage. You can only get them back if you pick a Derby player, past or present, to score a single penalty. Who you putting your house on to score?
Right, I'm going to go with a player that a few might think of as well, but I don't think many will think that. I'm going to go for my first season ticket striker when I was a young lad. I'm going for Big Steve Howard, the big number 9. He could absolutely leather it in either corner, and every time he stepped to a foot, scoring, and he always put it in that bottom corner. What a penalty taker, and what a player that bloke was for us.
Yeah, I mean, I've read some sports uploaders, some strikers who say that in terms of taking penalties, they never place them. Just smash it as hard as you can. If you place it, then you start to doubt yourself, don't you? But I think Howard was one of those, wasn't he? Just turned around, smashed the hell out of it.
Absolutely, just turned in. Either corner, it was always going in.
Yeah. Good shout. Let us know in the comments, though, especially those of you from a more older generation, if you had to put your life on someone scoring a penalty in a Derby shirt, who would that be too? Do drop a subscribe as well if you're there. 200 is brilliant. Looking to get us to 300 as well. We're really respectful of Rams Talk and all the other Derby great podcasts out there. We really think they do a fantastic job. This is another 20 minutes on the side of just looking at all the social media takes, good and bad, as we've already seen. FA Cup draw was made, Luke, since we last chatted with you last week. Your thoughts?
Oh, that's a cracker. That's an absolute cracker. I think from me wanting Forest to like a lower league side, but I took Leeds in the middle of all that, and I'm absolutely delighted with it.
Yeah, I don't think they were that delighted, to be honest.
No.
And it's shown us TV as well, wasn't it? Yes, that's going to be a noisy affair, isn't it? At Pride Park on is it Sunday morning? They put it at 12 or something on a Sunday.
Yeah, early morning. So it's going to be loud. It's going to be rowdy. Everyone's going to be absolutely up for that one. It's going to be an absolute cracker.
Yeah, still some spiciness to that fixture as well, given what went on with say Lampard and Bielsa and all that.
Oh yeah, there's always going to be spice from the spine on the training session to that famous night at Ellen Road. Yeah, there's always going to be a bit of spice because it's a part of the history of between us now. And that night for me at Leeds was probably arguably the best night of football I've ever had in my lifetime so far. So yeah, there's always going to be a bit of spice, and I can't wait for this one.
Derby Leeds will have a chat about that as it comes around. And finally, this week, then we're on to letter J for the A to Z. Yes, now we've had some suggestions come in, haven't we already? From a couple of people. I'm just trying to bring them up. Now, who have you got for J? Just while I bring these up.
So there was a couple. There was a couple of niche ones, but I didn't think people would really remember them. But I'm going to go for Seth Johnson, centre midfielder, two spells with us. He was at us, went to Leeds, came back to us. Absolutely quality midfielder, and he was someone for my first season again, first season ticket. He was like a pivotal player in that midfield role when we got promoted under Billy Davis to the Prem. Obviously, we won't talk about the season afterwards, but yeah, Seth Johnson was like last week. Idi Arquez, one of my favourite players when I was younger. Seth Johnson joins that list. He was absolutely brilliant.
Bro. Um, we've got one from Stace, who can't make it tonight, who says Tommy Johnson is my nomination for Jay. Score my favourite goal at Wembley against Leicester. Absolute pandemonium in the stadium as well. So, yeah, we've got two to fight over here. But as you're here, Luke, and he's not, we'll we'll go with his. Right, Kay is up next week. So, of course, join us for that. We'll also talk about Pompey as well. And we're also asking for your signing of 2025. Luke's already named his, but who are yours? Put some in the comments and we'll read some of these out next week. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your comments, and we'll catch you all hopefully in 7 days' time. Yeah, great to have the Rams back on form and what limbs again in that way, and fantastic support. Cheers for watching.